Well, you know, that 5A action, Jake, we're going to talk about was interesting because some of the things that we predicted and thought were going to happen, they're not happening, man.
Mm-mm.
What's up with Roma? I'm going to start with that. And I'm not trying to be ugly, but I mean, you know, I thought they won the game because they did. I was like, oh, they won. And I was like, oh, no, they didn't win.
Yeah.
They didn't win. Again, 0-3, right?
Yeah, 0-3, 2-3 overall. And
with Sherryland next. Hijo.
Yeah, and we talked about this. They had to get that game against Rio because, you know, you look at that district, they've already lost to Nixon.
Vets.
Vets, now Rio. If they wouldn't have lost to Rio, they could have beat Rio, Valley View, and then 2 teams in Laredo.
Because there's no guarantees that they're going to handle Sherryland. In fact, at this point, with the Rattlers scoring like they're scoring and Roma having troubles, man, they go into Sherryland on the road. They're in trouble, man, unless they can win this game. And I shouldn't have said that, but I mean, it's a tough deal for them.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
It really is. And it's, I mean, look, you're going on the road to Sherryland.
Who's playing well?
And you're at Richard Thompson Stadium. It is, and that is a great, people really don't understand how great a home field advantage
small
is.
college
Ask
field.
Mercedes last year in the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah.
You play there, you
First of all, you got to go through this little tiny corridor to get in there, man, and they fans get after the game. I bet that's cool. Yeah, he's amazing. He said he learned math by adding all the Sherryland touchdowns in the past. So, okay, Sherryland, each week, Cesar Zeca, number 12, is making a lot of plays, man. And so is James Harris. I thought he was a quarterback, a black quarterback for the Chargers in the 70s. Remember James Harris played for the Rams too, number 12?
Yep.
But no, he's a linebacker 44 for the Rattlers, and he's playing well. They're a pretty good team, man. I told you.
Yeah. Hey, you know, you can't count on a running team.
Everybody talks well of that guy, except the guys who have to go against him, and they still guys. He's a great coach, great staff. I think they're going to beat Roma at home, but this is Roma's, like I said earlier in 6A, us against the world, backs against the wall. This is it, man.
You need it. You need to sneak a win against Pioneer, Sherryland, somebody like that.
Got to be one or the other, man. To win the district, I don't know if you do, really, with 3 losses.
Yeah,
you'll have to run the table. Yeah, you'll have to run the table if a lot of things happen. So right now, they're just trying to get in.
Yeah. At least
surprising.
In that district, so.
Very surprising. Now, Pioneer, they go their way or its way. I'll get my grammar. Against Nixon, they did a pretty good job, but they didn't hold it. It was 24-10. God dang it, Nixon's for real.
Yeah.
We got to give it up to Nixon, man. I had no earthly idea they were going to be that good.
Yeah, I got to talk to the offensive coordinator before the game.
Is that right?
Yeah, Eddie Galindo.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, you know, and...
oh, you mean Pioneer.
Pioneer.
I'm like, Eddie Galindo went to Nixon?
Yeah, sorry, no. You know, they knew that they were going to go against the slot T over there, which is something they don't see a lot.
Right.
So, you know, especially in that district. I mean, it's a pass-happy district.
Oh, man, yeah. But Alexander sucks.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, and I love Alexander, but no, they're horrible. They get killed every week now.
Yeah.
What?
So, yeah, I don't know.
That's hard to believe. Well, hey, nothing stays the same. It is a bizarre world. Nothing stays the same forever, man. I guess that's the way things work. So Pioneer gets back at it with the loss against Mission Vets, and they didn't exactly overwhelm the world against Figueroa, but it was just a workmanlike thing, get it done, and this is a big game.
Yeah.
Vets and Pioneer, to me, I don't know what the game of the week is and who picks it anymore, but that's a great game. I'd love to see that game.
Yeah. And you know, you're looking at it right now, it's on the road at Mission, so you're looking at a game where, depending on, you know, which, you know, we haven't seen one that Harlingen in a while. You know, they've been playing.
No, they're good, man. They didn't overwhelm Figueroa, but there's a good football team right there, Mission Vets.
Yeah.
Pioneer, after what you don't want to do is lose games in a row in district, because if you think you have a chance to win it, and they still do, you don't want to win twice. You don't want to lose twice in a row.
Yeah.
So you've got to beat Vets over there, and if you do, then that's a signature win. This will be the biggest win in the history of the program if they win over there. But no pressure. But I mean, it will be, of course, you know, until Sherryland.
Yeah. And here's the thing. With this district right now, you're just waiting to see which other Laredo team either falls out or starts playing better. You know, and Figueroa, who knows? They're playing Rio this week. Mm-hmm. Maybe they sneak and win a Rio, and then, you know. But, you know.
Wow, man, I'm really surprised at Roman. I know they're mad over there, but I'll tell you what, they're going to bring everything they have to Sherryland. And that will be a tremendous football game with a lot on the line. Yeah, Figueroa and Rio, the Rattlers, man, hey, that's a, but, okay, so conversely,
You had to come back.
That's right. They got it, man. That's a huge win against Roma. So I expect they'll have I would say no problem with Figueroa. Toros, man. But I mean, I think those are better teams. So just play the game. Don't get too fancy. Do what you do and get to the next game. Beat the teams you have to beat. Beat the teams you can beat. They've already pulled an upset. But, man, I mean, the way Rio's going, they got a better record than Roma. Is that an upset or not?
I don't know. And you look at their defense. Their defense has played really well. I mean, you're looking at maybe 21 the most points.
Yeah, they don't give up a lot, man. They keep the ball. Big McGuffin and those guys on the offensive line. They got some players, man. No, Rio is doing well. And, hey, not that I'm giving out Coach of the Year award, but Aaron Garcia's got to be in the running. Done a hell of a job over there, man.
Yeah.
They won the rivalry game, the Battle of Fort Ringgold. I just named it. No, I'm kidding. It's not what it is.
And if you look at it right now, Rio is in a good spot. You played one of your tougher games.
Yeah.
You got that steal. You're playing Figueroa this week, so you should go 2-1 or 2-1, 3-1.
3-1. Hey, just don't get complacent, man. That's why I always tell my students: you made an A, well, you can make a D tomorrow, so don't get cocky.
Yeah, and you're just pacing yourself. You need to get 4. You have to get 4. I mean, that's the magic number.
You're getting closer, man.
So you win this week, and you're one game closer. You just need to get that one.
The only thing I can say about this district is Nixon is off, and good. I'm getting tired of those guys. 3-0, 5-0. All right, somebody's going to whoop them. You just mark my word. Martin and Valley View. Now, Valley View has been reasonably decent. They haven't gotten a ton of wins. Adam Solis, I think him and Richie and those guys, Richie Sanchez, they're having to do a lot. And there's a lot of pressure on those kids. They don't have the numbers and the depth. They don't have as many good players as some other teams. Those guys are good.
Yeah.
That leads you to make mistakes. And it leads you to throw interceptions, or it leads you to, jump off sides. And, when you're Valley View, man, you just got to, you got to overcome a lot of obstacles. But I think they have a chance to beat Martin. Boy, I'd like to see it.
And this
Come on.
I mean, you're talking about they steal this one. They're 1-2 in district.
Yeah, and you're right there.
But you just cut the legs out of Martin.
Right.
Because Martin would be
like a knockout. This is not the knockout stage, but we're getting close.
Yeah.
Vámonos los Tigres, man. Let's make that happen, all right? I ain't got no love for Martin, although I can tell you about the ancient days in the 30s when they were the only team in town. There was only, one high school town. The radio was not that big. All right, let's switch on over to 32-5, and boy, Mercedes. We were waiting for Mercedes, and Mercedes was waiting for Mercedes, and boy, they whooped down to the death.
Donna came to town at the right time because they needed a win. And they got it. I mean,
31-0, right?
Yeah. I mean, jumped out to what, 21-0 lead
Quick.
in the first quarter. The Ledesma brothers played very well.
Yeah, man. Are there 3 now?
There's Fabian, who's the cousin or nephew.
Yeah.
And then you have the two
Mark
and
who?
Matt?
Yeah. Mark had 270 yards passing, man. I mean, he's a player.
Yeah.
And Fabian, God, even though we left him off the preseason team, that guy's a great back.
Yeah.
They got too much talent to not be a contender for the title. I've told you that before, and I think it's still true. As for Donna, this is a big week for the Redskins because they're not doing much.
Yeah.
And they are underperforming, and they have more ability than that, and so let's just see what they can do.
They're playing, and the good thing is Donna's playing one of the lesser teams in that district. Oh, my bad. They're playing Ed Chelsea.
You're so bad. He did that on purpose. It's Ed Couch and Donna, so, man, Roma and Donna and Edinburgh North, and there's a couple of teams this week that, hey, let's see it.
Yeah.
And they can do it, man. I look at all these teams, and I know they can do it. Mm-hmm. Will they? I can't say. But it's Pride Week, man.
And when during a season, I mean, it's still early in district, but when does it turn into, okay, we're going to steal games. We're going to steal them away.
You don't want teams looking at you. You don't want to be steals, raced by the horns. But for the teams we just mentioned, that's not a possibility right now.
Yeah.
The possibility is you better win or you might have to go home.
Yeah.
And it's early to say that, but, why not call a spade a spade? The coaches are saying the same thing.
Yeah.
And probably not in as negative of terms, but, I mean, they're saying it because it's true.
Yeah. And you look at this right now. In this district, down in North, it's moving day like in golf. They've got to get a win.
Yeah. Yeah, they played all right, and we've talked about them, and we touted them. But now they just have to play Lopez. Lopez is the team of the year, man. Come on, man. The team is good.
Should be 4-0.
Yeah.
And they lost to a team that's 5-0.
Right,
so,
right. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah. So right now you look at.
So it's Lopez and Donna North.
Yeah.
When it's at Donna, right?
Yeah, and there's some guys that you like.
Yeah, I do. I'm going to tell you this one guy. You saw him on the highlights, Brandon Frausto. All right, tall, lanky kid, number 88. I saw him. He did a pretty good job when I saw him. But last week, man, he runs the opening kickoff back for a touchdown. Once he got going, it was like zoo. Later on, he made, to me, one of the plays of the year, all right? So they were playing Porter, right? Yeah, Porter broke out, and the kid was going down the field, and Frausto chased him down, stripped the ball. Another kid recovered in the end zone. It was just a tremendous hustle play. You want to talk about a character, man. That guy made some plays that really lets me know he must be he's a no-quit kid, man. But I liked him a lot. They got 2 De La Torres that play on defense. They haven't given up much at all, man. I mean, that defense is pretty solid, man. I don't know what Coach Starkey is telling them, but I'll tell you what, I think that team is not a paper tiger. Now, they did ahead and win the Super Bowl. Bloop, you step on a banana peel, right? You can't get complacent, and you can't think that you got it, because you know what? Lopez had it. And so sometimes the kids in the old days, they used to say, don't, you start looking at the press clipping, well, pretty good, and you get whooped, you know. I think they can beat Donna North. I think they probably should, based on the way the teams have played. But when you're a young, inexperienced team that's having success, sometimes you go, whoa.
Yeah, and look, this is one of your. This could be a banana peel game. You don't want to slip on this one. You know, so right now, you get the win against Donna North. You know, it's a Thursday game. You're looking at you know, a 2-0 start, which, you know, this team is starting to remind me of Hannah when Hannah had Campos at OC.
Oh yeah, that little running back. They did.
Yeah,
they did. They were real good. Yeah. When a team gets it together, you can feel it. Conversely, when the team is falling apart, you can hear it and you can feel it, because you listen and you don't hear nothing. You're in the sidelines on the fourth quarter, and you just feel people slumping over. They're not hollering. The fans are sitting there on their hands waiting for them to go home. I'm not trying to be Mr. Know-It-All, but I like to hear the fans, no matter what, going crazy, man, just to be happy to be there, because the kids pick up on that.
Yeah.
And then it's like a graveyard or a cemetery, man. You stand over there going, what's wrong with this? Is this suspended animation?
Now, here's an interesting thing for you. I want to ask you.
I make this face a lot, huh? I do, yeah. My daughter says, what's wrong with you? You make an ugly face. I said, it's the only one I have.
All right, Mercedes and Dunn. You know, Mercedes was 0-3 before this last game, but it seems like nobody really thought that they were in a bad spot.
Right. Yeah, well, yeah, sure. And why is that so?
Yeah.
I was in the same boat. I didn't think they were in a bad spot because I knew they have talent.
Yeah. And Donna, conversely, you know, had 1 win, and then all of a sudden everybody was like,
oh, Donna.
yeah, what's wrong? You know.
I still believe in the Redskins. I don't know why, mainly because I love the staff and I love the history, and I just feel like they're going to get it together. But you can throw them into the same boat with Roma and Edinburgh North and some other teams. They got to do it, man. Yeah. They got to do it.
Moving day for them as well.
Absolutely. Now Porter's beginning to make yards. Okay? They lost 39-10 at Lopez. They're playing pace. Some teams are going to win. It's a good lick. But they put this kid Benjamin Worsley in. Big old tall quarterback. Yeah. I'm like, who is he? What did he play for the Oakland A's and the Boston Red Sox? I mean, you know, Eckersley. He threw a great long bomb. Yeah, one of the best. Yeah. And one of the sideburns and long hair.
Sorry.
Who was a starter for the Indians when he first came up. Did you know that?
No.
Way back in the day, in the 70s. Yeah. I think he won 20. It may have been 75. I'll have to look it up. Eckersley, who are we talking about? He wasn't even born then. Jonathan Gonzalez, hard running back. He's not quite Georgia yet, but he's had some good games. So Porter's just got to play a little better defense. They're not stopping anybody like they did last year. They had a pretty solid defense last year. They're getting some yards. They're not scoring points. And right now at 0-4, I think they can beat Pace.
I think so too. You know, you have to remember with Porter, Pace, all these schools.
Porter. The latest inductee into the Rio Grande Valley. All he's worked for. I've been Here's the deal on Pace. This guy, Gabriel Zapata, man, every week he does something different. I thought he was a running back, which he is. But then last week he caught 13 passes 2 weeks ago. This week he throws a touchdown pass. No, Pace and Porter, one team is going to take a step forward and the other not. So I'm interested to see who that's going to be. So we got Pace, Porter, Lopez down in the north, Ed Calzadonna. We ain't said nothing about the Jackets, man. Don't get people mad at us now.
Yeah, well, you know, the Jackets
La Máquina.
They're still haven't gotten into the meat of their schedule. Look at Mercedes coming. They should beat Don. You know, all intents and purposes, they should beat them. They've got the most firepower in that district. Maybe, you know, we're saying that light.
Gomez again.
Yeah.
Gomez again, 150 yards. I told you about him last week, man. If they get diverse like that, it's not just Marco having to throw for 300 yards. No, that team's moving up the ranks. It has the look of a potential #1 team.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, they're getting close in our poll. But the game of the week to me, and it always was at Calzadonna, I still think it's going to be competitive. I'm not willing to count Donna out. I'm going to hang with them, man. I'm not saying they're going to win, but I'm going to hang with them. Mercedes and Betts. Gustavo Vasquez, another 1,000,000 yards. That guy's amazing.
Yep.
And another kid, Abel Martinez, had 100 and something. So they got a lot of yards.
Yeah, and look, Brownsville, that's, you know, look, they're 3-1. They lost to Vela, and that's only a blemish. But, you know,
And they had their chances.
Yeah, they had their chances. And so this game right now against Mercedes.
Great game.
It's on the road.
Absolutely
you know,
great game.
So Mercedes is going to be traveling.
Mercedes at Brownsville, and they get out at Sam Stadium and go, when was this stadium built?
Yeah, and it's
And
a
they'll
beautiful
say,
stadium. It's one of my favorite
Yeah,
stadiums.
you got to love it.
Yeah, they need to bring back the food.
They had the best food in the world.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why Paul Conacher left the Valley. He kept serving that homemade fried chicken. And great game.
Yeah.
Veterans, it depends on who they play quarterback. Because when Gustavo Vasquez plays quarterback, you know what they're other kid. The more things, more versatility, the better off you are.
I think it comes down to Fabian. If Fabian Ledesma can run the ball.
150.
Yeah, because when he's not running the ball well, they lost.
Yeah.
And so.
And they didn't run the ball the first 3 weeks.
Yeah, and so I think they got, and you know, they got to get him between the tackles, stop trying to run him out. I don't see him as an outside running.
No, well, maybe not. But when he bounces it out, he's liable to go.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but here's the thing: get up the field. A lot of backs I'm seeing right now, they're too east-west, man. They think they Tony Dorsett, trying to find that hole and go. Run you over, man. I like that little guy, number 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Now, every now and then he'll kind of bounce, he'll belly out, but most of the time now he's. In every picture I get of that kid, head is up, man. He's running the ball. His head is up. He's got his cut. Man, that guy's ridiculous. He is ridiculous.
So
2 yards, 4.
that's what we need to see out of Fabian. You know, we need.
He can do it.
Yeah.
If he gets 292, they're going to kill him, man.
Yeah.
If he gets 150, they have a pretty good chance of winning.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just saying numbers, and of course we're not supposed to predict or say numbers, but he has a big game that makes that team even better.
Yeah.
I'd like to go see that game. I don't know where I'm going to be. I haven't figured it out yet. I'm still trying to get used to being back in the Valley. I was up in San Marcos for the weekend. We'll tell you about that later. All right, so the 5A's are looking interesting. We're heavily into the district race. A couple of teams, including Roma and Donna. We're not trying to pick on them because I love them both. It's time. See what they do.